All right, let's clear and ground the energies. Breathe in, breathe out. One more. Breathe in, breathe out. Hello and welcome to ArcanaUniverse. This is going to be Capricorn, August 2025 energy forecast reading. Let's get started. As a friendly reminder, this is a general reading, so only take what resonates. We do have cross watchers, so roles can be reversed, but you will know if this is your story and which side you are on. All of my readings are timeless, so know that you found it at the perfect time. Feel free to check out the playlist portion of this channel where you will find your tarot today, monthly, and yearly readings as well. And because I read energies, labels aside, whether you are Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, if you're dealing with a Capricorn, if you're a Stellium, what have you, if you're just in here, it is no coincidence, okay? There may be a message in here for you. So far, the energy is looking pretty good. Like, the only thing I would say is somebody here is not getting enough rest. It's almost as if because they are trying to they're trying to produce something that brings a lot of like materialistic happiness, and so in return somebody here is neglecting like sleep. Okay, so there's a lot of like either working or focusing on a relationship or a connection, and as a result I'm getting here that somebody here is not getting enough rest or sleep. And somebody here may be dealing with somebody that is more on the youthful side. Okay. Okay, Austrian. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. Please approach this space and myself with respect. Okay, I don't like what you're doing. You know better. Okay. So somebody here may be dealing with somebody that is like, there's some level of immaturity, like there may be like a very significant age difference, and it's almost like I'm getting an energy that it is trying to get away with something. Okay, and perhaps it's their age. They may try to come off mature, but in reality they're coming off immature. And so it's because this energy is dealing with somebody that is mature and is very intelligent, and so it's very difficult for this more of the immature energy to have the upper hand, because they don't fully understand who they are dealing with. They're dealing with somebody that is spiritually in tune, so they may be blessed by God with some level of like spiritual gifts and guidance. And so the person that is dealing with this energy, they don't, it's like they're being, I'm getting the word conniving. Okay, so even though they're being a little bit of a trickster energy, it's because they want to be their friend. It's weird because it's just like, if somebody wants to be somebody's friend, you treat them with kindness and being nice. But because somebody here is immature, they approach the connection with immaturity or some sort of like meanness. Okay, so somebody here needs to grow up a little bit, because they're dealing with somebody that is, their thinking is a lot more mature and is more socially well developed. It's like one side has etiquette, the other one doesn't. They're just they're getting kind of like toddler energy. So they just do what comes to mind. And I'm getting also somebody here pretends to be older when they're not. Okay. Hello, Deal Real. Welcome back. Okay. So anything else? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Deal, for real? It's only... Anyways. Okay. One more card. Just to complete. Okay. There's a pair. Okay. So what I'm picking up here is there is this energy where somebody here is very like giving. Okay. It's just the lipstick color. It's not a big deal, but I appreciate what you're trying to say about the whole, I look prettier natural, but nothing wrong with a little color once in a while, okay? But and everybody had like different strokes for different folks and all of that. But I don't know, sometimes I like to change it up a little bit. But thank you. It's nice to know I don't need it. Alright. So I'm getting somebody here who's like very giving, but at the same time they're very protective of like what they have worked so hard for, or like the confidence that they hold. And so it's almost like this energy, they're what? I rang it already. I rang the bell already. And so I am getting somebody here that is like, there's some sort of options. What are these options? It's kind of like it's an option regarding some sort of like possible love offer. But the thing is, like, one aspect, it may be like it looks good on paper, or like the family would approve, like that kind of thing. But on the other hand, it's just like perhaps they're not really a good partner to be with, but it's just because somebody here, they want to impress their family or people that they know, and it's like they're somebody here, like money is very important. So if they have some sort of like social or financial status, like even though they don't really want them, or they don't even really like them, they will date. Somebody here is willing to date them because they have money or social status, etc. And so this person understands that's like not a good way to approach their love life. And so somebody here is really like thinking, is like social status versus doing what's right, like what is more important. So somebody here is kind of like at a crossroads, is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, because somebody would rather choose love. Okay. Alright. So what else? Okay, so somebody here is really thinking like somebody is falling for somebody who may not have a lot of money. Okay, so it's just like, do they choose the person that doesn't have money, or choose the person like some choose the person that doesn't have money but treats them right, or choose the person that has money but doesn't treat them right? Like somebody here is kind of at a crossroads in that sense. Okay. Hello, Elitra. Hello from California. Nice. Okay. So what are they going to choose? Oh, you're stressed. Oh. So yeah, your energy coming right through. But so somebody here. So are they going to? What are they going to choose? Oh, well, here's the simple answer. Okay. Dude, it's a little tough because somebody here is just like, what should they choose? I I see here somebody is going to give the person that has money the chance. Why? Because at least the person that has like the money, like they actually put the effort. They actually put the effort. Oh. So it was kind of like the person with the money problems, okay? I guess there was more like emotions there because there was more of an attraction. Okay, more of an attraction there. Whereas the person with money, like there may not have been a lot of attraction, but at least like they talk and communicate, you know. Okay, so no, I'm sorry, Philly. I will not be answering that. We're talking about that. As you can see, we're talking about Capricorn, August 2025 energy forecast. So, not really sure why you would think we would talk about that, you know? We gotta use our noodle a little bit. A little bit. Okay. Okay, so Philly, no. We don't do that here. If you would like to talk about what you want to talk about, you're more than welcome to do it on your channel, but not here, okay? Not here. Let's keep the space kind of open for in a safe space for people from all over to come in and feel comfortable without having to worry about other people and like what they want to talk about. This is God time, God's message time. Okay, uh, that's fine, but you're more than welcome to do that on your channel. Like that's why you have your channel. You know what I mean? Oh, so Elytra is a Sagittarius. Nice. Oh, thank you, Philly. Thank you. I do like politeness. I do. So, so what is this? What's the recommendation? What's the advice? And that's fine. And God, when Now, you chose that because you were meant to hear what I was going to say, which is do so on your channel, not on here. Like, you can ask. You can ask, but it's like I don't appreciate the copy and paste, like that kind of like spam like behavior. It's not good, and you were meant to hear that because I want people to take you seriously, and I see that you've done this before. It's not your first rodeo, and so God wants me to be a whistleblower and just be like, hey, Philly, hey, you know, I feel like you can be connecting with people more if it doesn't feel so automated, but instead you're actually utilizing your thoughts and intentions and emotions and feelings to actually be engaging without being so automated. Okay, so all of that, if you didn't start the conversation, you wouldn't have known that, right? And so you were meant to hear that. Oops. Okay. Very funny, Gil for real. Very funny. Okay. Alright, so, but it's something new, something different, you know. Deal for real, come on now. Let's set a good example. We got some new folks coming in. So deal for real doesn't mean harm, but he does have his moments. That makes him who he is. But anyway, so let's go ahead and move on. I'm gonna do the spinny spin. Well, actually, the advice, okay? Just the final advice for the person that's going through all of that. Okay. Is talking about give the person who wants to make it work a chance. Okay? That should be the focus, whether they have money, whether they don't have money, because money fluctuates. It comes and goes. It doesn't mean just because you don't have money one moment that it's always going to be like that. Money can come and go. And so partnership wise, we just want to be with somebody that is willing to put in the work to stay within the connection through the highs and lows, whether or not there is money or not. And so that should be the answer, not like if somebody has the money now, or like, because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, nothing is forever, right? That's a certainty. And so be with the person that is going to be there through the thick and thin. Through the thick and thin. Okay? Alright, so that's the advice. So we're going to go ahead and do the spinny spin. And by the time we finish the spinny spin, if we have 6 more likes, then I'll do all signs. So all signs is essentially 12 additional messages for, if we reach 6 more likes, okay? By the time I finish this portion. What else does my viewers need to know? 1 and a 2 and a... Love! Somebody has a question about love. Okay. Oh. Maybe. Hello, Sadir. It might be, yes. But yeah, I just need 6 more likes. What about love? Love, love, love. Oh, thank you, Sadir. I see it. I see it. So we just need 5 more likes. Oh, thank you, Deal for real. Okay, so what I'm picking up here is that, like, in the past, there was this, like, very, almost like fairy tale kind of romance. I do see, like, it felt magical or something like that. But I see here somebody wanted to move things forward, but somebody here felt like they weren't doing enough or like they weren't ready. And so where I see here is that somebody got caught like lying or like being fake or something like that. It was almost as if they were trying to be like a perfect partner, but that's not who they were. And so when things didn't progress, it started being like stagnant. It just kind of felt like for an example, it could be something like in the beginning there would be all of these like romantic dates or like, you know, time spent together, and then like as things should be progressing more in a committed direction, if anything, it was like going backwards, and there was like less dates and less time spent together, like that kind of energy. And then sooner or later, like somebody was lying about where they've been or what they were doing. And so somebody here was like, no, you know, when somebody here is not able to walk the walk, all they do is talk, but they can't live up to what they've promised or what they say they would do, then there's a problem, right? Then there's a problem. And so what I'm getting here is that somebody here may have also lied about like money, or if they're like well off or something like that, and they couldn't also keep up with the lifestyle. So like if they like came on really strong, you know, spending a lot of money and all of that just to show the other person a good time, well, if they've been lying about, you know, financial obstacles and challenges, then they can't, even if they wanted to, they can't keep it up. And so they're, even though the intent behind it, it does still feel manipulative. Even if it was like kind of coming from a place of like trying to impress the other person, etc. But again, it's like building somebody's like hopes up and painting all of this picture, and only to lead nowhere or to a dead end kind of situation. So what's the advice? Why do we need to know this? I see here that during like the time apart, during the quiet period, somebody here has been doing a lot of reflecting, and it's something about like the distance has made the heart grow fonder, like that kind of saying. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with that saying, I'm just saying this is how this energy feels. Like they just kind of feel like during the time apart, they they feel even more attracted. They do feel, yeah, like this kind of like lusting energy. Um, their feelings has grown stronger, and they want this other person because they can really see that they are kind, they're very generous, and like they actually care, and so they want to build something here. What's the advice though? Like, is this? Okay, so it's saying like the intent behind it is great and grand and all, but it's like it's just a vision, it's just a thought, it hasn't materialized, it hasn't manifested. And so, and because the problem, the challenges hasn't been addressed, it hasn't been fixed or corrected, or this energy is in a better place, there's going to be repeated cycles. It's going to keep happening over and over again until it is corrected, until it's no longer an issue. And it's like getting to that point, it is going to take a lot of patience. And somebody here is just exhausted and tired of like not being there yet financially, especially because somebody here feels like if their finances were better, then there wouldn't be any more problems and all of that. But is that accurate? If, let's say, the finances were all of a sudden better and all of that, would they be happy? Well, the thing is, if somebody here wants success without putting in the work, that is just a recipe for disaster, for only being able to sustain this on a short-term basis. And so if somebody here is really wanting this to be a success and not just a quick fix for the time being, then they really have to put in the work. This isn't something that they can just be like, oh, like I'll just jerry rig it and see what happens. Like, no, it's like we're talking about the foundation to, to possibly something amazing, a partnership or a foundation to have more of a abundant life. And so if somebody here is just going to like put the minimum effort, it's not going to work out. That's just playing themselves. So any I'm getting here I'm getting here somebody is a catch, okay? Like they're very attractive and they're a catch and everything, but they keep attracting those with like, I don't want to say like mental problems, but somebody here who just like thinks very differently, like to the point where it's just, it can be very burdening about because they're not able to see things like clearly or think and feel things on the same page. Why do we need to know that? Hello, Cody. Okay, it's talking about just make sure they're not just talking to talk, but instead they're walking the walk as well, like that. Whatever they promise or whatever they make plans to do, are they actually doing it, or are they just the type to be like, oh yeah, let's do all of this, let's plan all of this, and then nothing materializes. Like, we really gotta see here who actually does what they say they're going to do. Okay? Oh, Lydia wrote subs. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm gonna count to 10 and we'll just need 5 more likes. If we reach that, then I'm going to do 12 additional messages from Aries through Pisces. So I'm gonna count to 10. Okay, to like this video, you can, if you're on the mobile app, you can double tap it, double tap the screen, and then that should work. Otherwise, I think, I don't know, there should be a like button somewhere, right? Hello, Miss, welcome back. So we're going to need 5 more likes in 10 seconds, and in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we didn't mean it, but I will leave you guys with one final spinny spin. Okay, you guys could have had 12 additional messages, but it's okay. God didn't want us to make this video too long, and that's fine by me. That's fine by me. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. And so, there's a timing to everything as well. So I am fine by that. Okay. So one more spinny spin. What does my viewer need to know at this time? 1 and a 2 and a present. Okay, somebody here wants to know more about their present circumstances. Present. For those of you who are interested in a personal reading with me, all of that information can be found in the description of this video. Alright, let's see. Present, what do we need to know? Okay, somebody here is wondering, like, what's with the stagnancy? What's with the, attracting all of these people who may not be emotionally available? Because somebody here is just like really wanting to be in some sort of like strong commitment kind of thing, where it just feels like it can be a spiritual kind of connection, and like where the connection feels very like abundant and happy and all of that. And I see here somebody here has searched high and low, like trying to see where are all of these like good candidates that is like well-rounded and is actually emotionally available and knows how to keep a good thing. Because I feel like it's almost like there's a lot of work that needs to be done and that needs to be maintained on a consistent manner. So it's just like perhaps there may be a lot of consistency, but there is no follow through. It's just like somebody is just stuck. And so somebody here wants to know, like, why is there this stagnancy? Why is this lack of communication from the person that they really want to perhaps end up with? Okay. And I see here the main thing is that somebody here needs healing. Okay. Like somebody here feels like they're either not like good enough, or like they have a tendency to play victim. And I see here that somebody is in the process of starting fresh. Okay. Perhaps like they just started new work, or they are starting a new project, or a new chapter in their life, or something like that. And so the energies is kind of, it feels very scattered. Somebody here is not able to fully just like commit and be consistent with one particular area or person in their life. It's like somebody here, they're kind of in a hot mess. I will say there is this very messiness about this energy that this person is trying to like deal with, and this person, they need some sort of like spiritual healing and the ability to let go of some of their burdens, because like somebody here is really struggling. So at this time, the advice coming here is like, even though this energy shouldn't be supportive of like bad behaviors, or behaviors that is not helpful towards the connection, but there's something to be said about using charm and like being charismatic, okay, to effectively say what they want to say without it being like too defensive, okay? Because I see here somebody already has their guard up to begin with, because they're just kind of in survival mode. And so they need a little love in their life. They do. They need a little bit of like so if this is like a masculine, okay, like it's like they need their feminine counterpart, and we're not talking about genders, we're talking about energies. But it's just like somebody here, they act like they don't need the other person when they really do. And so the advice here is it's kind of giving off the bee, like you'll get more bees with honey kind of thing, where it's just like if somebody here is struggling, not doing well, and all of that, but you can tell like they really still do care about the connection, etc., then it's, we got to lead here with like love. And I'm also getting something about being flirtatious, okay? Yeah, that's going to be helpful. And trying to like have fun times where there can be this feeling of like escape and not having to think about the day-to-day things. But I feel like there's one more advice. What's the advice? It's talking about just make sure that somebody here doesn't neglect their responsibilities or their like financial duties or what have you, because it's just like because somebody here wants to have fun all the time, they may forget, like they may neglect other parts of their life, like because they're stressing out over that won't make up their mind. Somebody here is stressing over about somebody that won't make up their mind. It's just like 1 second they're just like all in and like wanting to see like changes, and then the next minute is just snail's pace, like there's no effort, all that, and that is causing so much stress. And so what do you think, God? Is this a good like match for them? It sounds kind of exhausting. Well, it just keeps going back to what we discussed earlier about whether or not they are going to put in the work. You know, is it just like promises left and right and nothing comes to reality, or are they actually keeping their promises? Are they making plans and seeing it through? Like those are the things that we really need to look out for. Not what we think, not what they want you to think, nothing like that. What do they do? What will they do? Do they keep their promise? That's what we're looking for. Okay, so it's not even about like we gotta see if what they say and what they do match up. Okay, but we gotta like leave the rose-colored glasses, like leave them at the door. Not just fantasize about their good looks or you know really think about their character and see, are they mature enough to be part of this connection. It's that simple, okay? So that's what I have for you guys. Feel free to check out the playlist portion of this channel for your tarot today, monthlies, and yearly readings. And so that, and sometimes like you're more than welcome to just like close your eyes and just do this and then just like click on one, because remember, like all my readings are technically timeless because time is fluid, and I'm a firm believer you will come across the message when you're supposed to. So yeah, trust in the process. Hello, Patrick. Hi, hope you are well. Oh, glad you're able to make it. I don't know. I try to respond to you because I know you asked when I was gonna go live, and then try to keep you up to date. But you're here, yay! But even if for those of you guys who are watching this later, like if you're not able to make the live, fortunately you are able to watch this later on. So you know, but I appreciate the effort and like trying to make it during the live streams, because yeah, what an experience, right? But But yeah, as mentioned, yeah, feel free to check out the playlist portion. So uh, whatever is in there, that'll hold you until the next time I go live or post new content. Hello, Penguin. Well, thank you for coming on right at the end. While we're all wrapped up. but But yeah, feel free to check out the Leo. There's a playlist tab, and then you'll see that the Leo section. So you can start there, and then if you're like, oh, well, I'm resonating with this, and then you can explore from there. But I would recommend starting from there or watching this reading from the beginning to kind of get you in and have you settled a little bit. And then if you're really looking for No, this is your lucky day because you get to ask me, and I just gave you an answer. So it's about perspective. You may have thought, oh, she's gonna give me a personal reading. No, that's not a perspective you want to see. Instead, I gave you 700 videos to watch. What a lucky blessing that is, right? You got a whole library full of readings that you can listen in, free content. And so, what a lucky day. That sounds like a lucky day to me. Okay? So, thank you for stopping by though. Alright. Anything else? No, that is it. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for being here and being consistent on your journey as well. And so, have a good one until next time. Okay, thank you for the wonderful comments and talk to you